Hey guys, what's up? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0 here, and/or No Climber, if you know me pretty well. And guess what? For today's list, I'm doing my top 10 underrated supervillains. And, well, this is just a way to honor Villains Month, and, well, let's just say, well, we all love villains like Joker, Reverse Flash, Venom, Thanos. We all love those villains. But I want to talk about, like, my top 10 villains who I think they don't get a lot of love or a lot of on-screen action, but these are villains that need to be in, like, top 10 or, well, just need to be, like, fan favorites or appear in, like, on the big screen movies. So, let's get down to it. And just to let you all know, this is my top 10 list. Everyone's entitled to their own top 10. And, well, believe me, I'm pretty sure you have your opinion, but this is my opinion, so, well, this is basically going to be my top 10 underrated supervillains. And, well, let's get down to this, shall we?
Kicking the list off at number 10, we have the Gorilla Grodd.
Gorilla Grodd is number 10 mainly because, I mean, he's basically a Batman villain, a Flash villain. He's basically a villain to, like, a lot of the comic book characters in DC. But I just feel like he doesn't, well, he's not that popular. Like, not a lot of people know him. But, I mean, he's a telepathic gorilla. But, I mean, he just has a thing for, well, fighting superheroes. That, well, not just one, but more than two. Like, maybe he fights other superheroes.
Now at number 9, that goes to Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom made the list because, I mean, well, the Fantastic Four, they honestly have not been getting a lot of on-screen action or stuff, but I just hope that, well, Dr. Doom has a thing for that, and I just wish that he would appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he's been losing some popularity, mainly because, I mean, he's a cool villain, but he should definitely be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to make himself a lot more popular, because he's not just an enemy to the Fantastic Four, but he's also an enemy to Iron Man, Spider-Man. He basically goes toe-to-toe with other heroes, and he basically just has a thing for the Fantastic Four, but he just feels underrated because, I mean, he just hasn't been getting a lot of on-screen action and hasn't been in a lot of comics recently.
Now at number 8, that goes to Taskmaster.
Taskmaster is actually a good one because he's a villain that, well, if you don't know who he is, he basically has a thing for copycatting, well, other superheroes' moves and, well, fight the same way they fight. And, well, he's been known to go toe-to-toe with heroes like Deadpool, Spider-Man, Captain America. And, yeah, I mean, he did get some on-screen action in Ultimate Spider-Man, but not really, and not a lot in comics. I mean, there are a ton of comics where he's being awesome and cool, but he hasn't gotten a lot of on-screen action.
Number 7 goes to Black Adam.
Black Adam, he's basically an enemy to Shazam. I mean, he has a thing for lightning, he has a thing for power, he's like an angry god. I mean, and he's pretty dang powerful because, I mean, well, if you know, like, Shazam, then you should know that he should be in a Shazam movie. So, if there's ever a Shazam 2, maybe we'll see him in that.
And let's just hope that The Rock is able to play this character in the DCEU. Number 6 on the list goes to Necron, aka the Black Lantern Corp.
I mean, Necron, he's the Black Lantern Corp. I mean, if you're a Green Lantern fan, you'll know who he is. I mean, he basically has a thing for reviving the dead, and he basically has a thing for turning, well, DC characters into zombies. And he hasn't been getting a lot of he doesn't have any on-screen action, and he doesn't have, well, a lot of comics, but other than, well, like Brightest Day and several other Lantern comics, but you'll get the picture if you learn a little more about Necron, who has a thing for, well, raising the dead.
And who doesn't want to see villain versions or zombie versions of their favorite heroes like Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, and so on and so forth? Number 5 goes to Edward Nygma, aka the Riddler.
Riddler is a pretty popular Batman villain, yes, but he's just underrated because I mean he hasn't been in a lot of comics, but he has had a thing for being on show Gotham, and I'll admit, not my favorite Batman villain, but he's basically, well, a Batman villain that I think deserves a lot more, like, to be up on the big screen, minus that whole Jim Carrey thing that happened a while back. And he just, well, has a thing for, well, throwing riddles all over the place. I mean, he's been doing this since, like, the 1940s in comic books.
And who doesn't enjoy him in the Batman Arkham games, Gotham, and the animated series? Number 4 goes to Kang the Conqueror.
This is a villain that I want to see go toe-to-toe with the Avengers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He basically has a thing for time travel. He has a thing for, like, trying to stop heroes from doing, like, things that equal good, but could be a little bad. I mean, he's just a time traveler conqueror. I mean, who goes toe-to-toe with Avengers, and he just has a thing for, well, let's just say time travel. And he's not really an Earth guy. He's, well, he's an alien.
Number 3 goes to Kraven the Hunter.
This is another, like, villain that's, I'll admit, kind of cool, but doesn't get a lot of on-screen action. Kraven does have a thing for, like, being a member of the Sinister Six, but and he does have a thing for playing roles in, like, several Spider-Man cartoons, but he's just, well, he just hasn't been that popular in comic books. But that's why I think he's number one, like, in top 3 of, like, well, underrated villains. I mean, he's cool and all, but come on, you gotta give Kraven some credit to be in, like, a Spider-Man movie or something. I mean, come on.
And not to mention, he's been in one of the coolest Spider-Man comics, Kraven's Last Hunt. Number 2 on the list goes to the Mandarin.
I feel like the Mandarin is number 2, mainly because, I mean, Iron Man 3 kind of ruined him, but if you've read comics on who the Mandarin is, he's been around since, like, 1960s, and he just has a thing for rings and, well, like, all this unlimited power. He just has a thing for, like, trying to be an enemy to Iron Man. He's just a killer. He's a lot more scarier in comics. I mean, I'll admit there was that Marvel one-shot that was made a little while back on, like, a real Mandarin, and not that fake one, or Aldrich Killian, but let's just hope that, well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe could fix that with an Iron Man 4, or any other Avengers movie. Come on, Marvel. You can do better than that with the Mandarin.
But let's just say that's the version we saw in Iron Man 3. Not what we were expecting, but let's hope they can fix that. And finally, at number 1 goes to the Violator.
Me being a humongous fan of Spawn is, means that the Violator is my number 1 favorite Spawn villain. And Spawn, I'll admit, he's a little underrated, but the Violator, I feel like he's number 1 of, like, underrated villains, because, I mean, he might be a crazy clown, but let's just say he releases his inner beast when he fights, Spawn, because, I mean, he works for Malbosia, and, he just wants to kill Spawn. He's a psycho. He's basically the Joker to Spawn. I mean, there was that comic where it was titled Spawn Batman, where Batman teams up with Spawn, and, Violator's one of the reasons that he was in the comic. And, yeah, I mean, let's just say, if you're a Spawn fan, Violator is obviously going to be your number 1 favorite villain. So, yeah, that's everything I can say about all these villains. But here's some honorable mentions.
As for honorable mentions, those go to Lobo, Amazo, Mongol, and Hush.
Well, I really hope you like that list. Let me know what your top 5, top 10, however many, in the comments down below. And just to give you guys a heads up before I end this video, just know that this upcoming weekend, I'm going to Dallas Comic Con, aka Fan Days, this weekend. If you saw my social media. Friday, is going to be my Iron Spider day. Saturday, I'm going to be Spidey in his homemade suit, and Sunday is going to be Red Hood, so be on the lookout for that when you go to Comic-Con this weekend. Well, Fan Days in Dallas. Feel free to come up to me, ask me questions. We could talk about movies, we could talk about comics, cosplaying. You can take a picture of me, we can take a picture together, whatever you want. You can ask for an autograph, you can interview me for your YouTube video, if you like, or whatever. And, well, don't forget, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and CosplayMino. And don't forget to click on the bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. But before you do that, please click on subscribe so that way I could get a new subscriber. And please hit some comments if you like, and, well, hit that thumbs up so I know you love this video or like it. And I will see you guys in my next video, so see you around.